Hello, welcome in. I hope you guys are having a great night. Let me know, testing, testing. Let me know if the audio is good. Welcome in. Let's see who's here already, or was here. Neil, welcome in, buddy. Great Talk Loud, hello. Feisty Kitty, Dogman, UK Man. Welcome in, guys. It's good to see you all. So obviously, we were doing Subscriber Sunday for a while. We switched it. We're gonna switch it to Sunday Sit Down. Hello, Ruth. How are you? We're gonna change it to Sunday Sit Down. Call it the Sicilian in me, whatever. But I think it's more relevant to do it this way, where if we want to do something Subscriber Sunday based, like where we sit and talk and just chat interactive, or if it's more relevant to have a guest, or if there's a topic, or or we're going to field, whatever the case may be, I just want to leave it open. And that being said, I think tonight we're going to talk about the Thunderbird, and hopefully you won't just hear my story. Hopefully somebody's going to join us in a little bit. I have Elena backstage too. So, Lulu, hello, Forest friend. Good to see you guys. Ruth is doing good. That's great. Good to see you too, buddy. Okay, so yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I have had a Thunderbird in, not just one. No, not just, well, we'll talk about it, but it wasn't just one. Hey, Brandy. Well, welcome to the members. Welcome to the members. I see you're in green. Thank you for that. Yeah, all right. Let me see if she's ready. I'll pull her up. You good? Yeah, okay.
Hello.
Hey, you. A roll call's better. Huh?
Thank you for inviting me on again.
Thank you for keeping me company. It goes better when you're up here. I got somebody to bounce things off of. So tonight we're going to talk about the Thunderbird. They're pretty popular in the UK, right? Flopping around, flying around. Honestly, like, I don't know much about it, right? So like I'm just pulling it, like, but I found it interesting, like when we spoke about London, and you were like, yeah, like foxes just run around.
Yeah.
Like in the city. Yeah. Which I think is just like, it's interesting, like, to me, like, I don't know, New York City's got big rats, but I never thought about foxes like just cruising around. And you said they
just run up and down the streets, go into people's houses.
Yeah, and they like go after people's kids and like animals and stuff, right? That's wild to me. Anyway,
there was a case where it attacked a woman's toddler.
Right, which is crazy. Rob, how are you?
Hello, chat.
Rob, it really is. He says, amazing how these extinct animals or creatures are still seen nowadays. So one of my favorite people in the world is Forrest Galante, and he does this show called Extinct or Alive. Hopefully they'll bring it back. I follow him on a personal basis. He's way too busy and way too big to ever like do this, but I've contacted him before. I would love to have him here, but it's just like, it's never going to happen. But the dude is so cool. And his grandfather, I believe, is the one who found the coelacanth, which is the fish that was like a dinosaur that was said to be extinct. And like, no, he was like, no, here's one. Anyway, so him alone and his team have found that, yeah, science and whatever are saying extinct, but locals to those regions are saying, yeah, we see them, and nobody's listening. So he is, and he's going in and putting in all this effort to show that they're still there, and he's showing that these animals are still there. And I don't want to say with minimal effort, but like in a small window of time, like he's only there for X amount of time and he finds these things. So it just goes to show with a little bit of with a little bit of motivation and money, you could figure some stuff out. So don't just listen to what you're told. That's what I'm getting at. Toby, what's up, brother? Tennessee.
I've never seen anything like that in England.
Australia. Tortoise. Yeah, he finds all sorts of stuff. Some wolves. I think some kind of like tiger cat mix. Some kind, a different kind of lemur. A different kind of what's the little crocodiles over there in the Amazon? Whatever. One of those. You know what you get my drift. So it's pretty damn cool. So anyway, yeah, Thunderbirds are now mind you, the Thunderbird has different appearances, different no matter depending on which native tribe you look at. If you go back that far, they all have different reasons for what they do. Some say they're like so big that they used to carry the rain on their back. Cayman, thank you, Scotty. Oh, Brandy, thank you, guys. Yeah, Cayman, thank you. Okay, all right, Dogman, you came in. I'm gonna look into that, bro. I follow him somewhere else. I forget where. Hey, Jay, from the depths of my easy chair. So awesome. So they'll say it carries the rain on their back because their wings are so big and it shoots lightning from its beak. Some will say it brings the rain for the crops. But mostly there's positivity in it. You know what I mean? And it's interesting. I'll dive into what I seen, and I didn't know anything about it, but I didn't see a bird. I saw pterodactyls. Like that's what I saw. I saw dinosaurs. It was not it didn't have feathers. We'll dive into that in a little bit. It's like we are just supposed to see or understand these things like legends. I once heard it was easier to explain a legend. There's a lot of existing animals that if you didn't know what they were, if I described them to you, you would be like, it just in detail what they do and how they are. You'd be like, no way, like no, like that's impossible. But because they're an existing animal, we don't think twice about it. It's all right. You did good, buddy. Yeah, leathered. I will just dive in.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving down this road, and I had done it a few times before, but I hadn't been up in the mountains for that long, and it was not that maybe it wasn't ever going to get like normal to me. That's what I say too. Yeah. So I'm like a scene, like I look at the scenery like crazy. I'm always looking up and around at the mountains, or like like I go over a bridge and there's a creek, and like I'm staring. I want to see both ways. I break my neck to look down both ways. Like I'm obsessed, right? And we come out of this town, what they call the city in that area, right? But to me, it's not a city; it's a town. But it has everything in it. And heading back to the rural areas, or at least whatever housing area neighborhoods. There's nothing out there but neighborhoods. And you go down this long road, and it's a highway for the most part. It's got, I think, 2 lanes on both sides. But anyway, it goes over this creek. It's called Esopus. Esopus Creek, right? Or Esopus, whatever. I never say it right. As I'm coming in, I can see up between, I don't know the distance necessarily because it's a ways off, but I could see these big things in the sky. And about 300 yards out, maybe a quarter mile, give or take, before I get to that like part where I go over that, water gap to get off the exit. So I get in the right lane and I get, reluctantly behind somebody. So I was going way slower than I normally would. And we're getting closer and closer and closer. And as I'm getting closer, I can see this. There, I think I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool. They're not buzzards, like they must be eagles or something I don't even know about, right? They're huge. So I'm like, oh, is this like, do eagles hunt together? Like all these things are going through my head, right? And they're riding this thermal, and that's what makes me think it's like a bird of prey because they're using the thermal going, round and round, but they're separated from each other and they're just going and they're at different levels. One starts coming off and it kind of goes out of range a little bit and getting closer and closer and closer. And then it comes back to cross the creek. And I see it coming in. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I kind of only see it out of the corner of my eye. And I'm still watching the other ones. And it catches, my attention as it's crossing. It's going to cross this highway right on the creek. And it's I'm saying creek, but it's bigger than a lot of rivers I've seen. And it crossed over the highway, and when it came in front of the truck, I tell you, it blacked out my windshield, and you could hear it from inside the vehicle go. When its wings closed, you could hear it. And this is not something that I know it wasn't a bird, but I'm just saying, if you're wondering, like, or thinking to yourself, like, oh, what could it have been? That was the first thing I did when I got back was like, I was dumbfounded. I was stupefied. I was Googling birds, upstate New York, blah, 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 everything going off the rails, like trying to figure out what the hell just happened. I didn't get a great look at its face, but I remember it being bald. I remember it being like, uh, like somebody just said before, this there was like leathery skin. There were no feathers. You could tell that like at some points like sun came through it, you know what I mean, like different parts of it, but it wasn't where I was trying to look because I could not see the road anymore. I could not see any of the 4 lanes, nor could I see the creek because of its wingspan. It blinded me. And it then, I heard again, and just like that, that thing was gone the other way and going back up. I don't know what it did after that. I have no idea because I'm trying to follow its trajectory as I'm driving, and now I'm trying to regain where the hell I was, and I have to get off that exit right there, which is like whatever. Anyway, so it goes and that dips down, and then the bridge blocks it out when you start to go down. So I really have no idea what it did after that, but when I hear people say they seen one or whatever, I seen about 5. I believe there was 5 in total. There was 5 in the thermal, and then that one came down across. Odd thing to me is it didn't come down. I don't know why it came down. It didn't. It came across the highway and then started going back up. So it's not unless there was something off to the side that I didn't see it do. Yeah, really, really crazy. The person I was with said they seemed like it was bald and yeah, very, very, very similar features to a pterodactyl. That's the only thing I can categorize it as is like a petrosaur, a pterodactyl, or whatever. But no feathers, no nothing like that. So anyway, that's my story. Um, and yeah, I mean, it's a quick one, but there was a lot, it was a lot to process, like a whole lot to process.
You don't expect to see a pterodactyl when nowadays.
No, it didn't.
Freaked me out as
It,
well.
it wasn't on my radar at all. And even after, it wasn't on my radar. Like I was talking myself out of it. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
I was like how people try to find logical shit about Bigfoot, and I'm always like, what? Like that I did that time. I was that guy that time. I was like, what the hell? There's got to be
Mm.
an explanation, like something, something. The like adrenaline, I guess maybe it was the adrenaline had my mouth shut the whole time. I was just I didn't say a freaking word. So we might have somebody pop in soon, and
Yeah, I want to hear Susie. Yeah, definitely
hopefully
want to hear.
Susie will pop in. She has a Thunderbird story as well, which is really amazing. I mean, really, really amazing. She got a better look than I did. So,
Mm.
Nez, welcome in. Neil, I
Hey.
said hi, Neil. Neil is waiting for that. Still living. Yeah, yes, huge. Like I don't know how to describe it. I really don't. As far as size, because I was moving and it was moving, and like when I seen it, it like blacked out my windshield. So like as far as like detail, I couldn't really embrace it because I was
Yeah,
behind
driving.
the wheel of a car, and I lost visual of the road, and it was one of the scariest damn things I've ever seen. If I didn't slow down and get behind that car, I would have never seen it happen. I would have burned around them, got off the exit, and I would have missed it behind me by 5-10 seconds. Never would have had an experience. It just wouldn't have happened. Maybe I would have seen them in the thermal, but you know what I mean? But as far as that, I would have just probably seen them in the thermal and kept going, and not thought anything of it.
Mm.
I believe we will see more and more of these cryptid creatures as time goes on. Men's hearts will fail for them. Yeah. Um, men's hearts will fail them for fear. Oh yeah. So I wanted to mention too, it's like the Shinnecock tribe out here, they actually have the Thunderbird on their badge, which I
Mm.
found really, really interesting. I never noticed it, and they all symbolize something, and there's a reason why they have the animals that they pick, or the legends that they use. There's a reason why each tribe uses those particular things. Um, I'd love to get one of them to speak directly to you. It doesn't seem like it's a possibility for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Um, so I have to leave. Like I don't even bring my phone in when I go in there. Friends with Monsters, what's up, buddy? That old photo with all the guys holding one up, is
Yeah,
that real?
maybe.
I think I know what you're talking about. It could be. I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's possible. I mean, I could have definitely hit that thing with my truck, but I don't think it would have did a damn thing to it. I really don't. I really, really don't. No, no hindsight. No, it wouldn't have hurt it. I must go participate in the talk show. Okay, all right, Ness. Thank you for stopping by.
Take care, mate.
There are reports of T-birds in Oklahoma and other western states. Like, yes, they're very relevant out west. Very, very, very relevant. Absolutely, North America in general, but yes, with the tribes out there, especially. You got to think of the importance of them, especially with like the dry season. And if they're said to bring the rains and so basically they're like the bringer of crops because they carry rain on their backs. So they would call on the Thunderbird because the Thunderbird could come from an area and its wings and its wingspan and back was so big that it could literally carry water enough to sprinkle over their whole tribe and their whole village. So they would actually like call on them to come and be the bringer of rain. Um, you know, there's so many different reasons, but I know they're directly related with crops and rain. And Thunderbird comes because it's some say they flap their wings and thunder. It would be the sound of thunder.
Yeah.
Others would say they would shoot lightning from their beaks. It looks like Susie just joined us, so I'll bring
Hey.
her up. I'll bring her up in a sec, and you guys can hear her story. Susie, you ready? Okay. Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, it's good to see you.
Hi, Elena.
Hiya.
Mark.
Right on time. Good to see you.
Thank
Right on
you.
time. I literally just finished telling my story, so I don't.
Missed it.
Well, I'll give you the cliff notes. I was driving down from like what they call the city up in the Catskills, like where I was anyway, and around it is like all like neighborhoods and towns, and it just breaks off more rurally the further away you go. And there was this big creek called Esopus Creek or something to that effect, and it was like a 4-lane highway. But I came out, and usually I'll like get in the left lane and burn down the block or whatever. But for whatever reason, I got behind somebody, which slowed me down, and I just started kind of like for me that's slow. So I was like looking around, embracing the scenery, and up ahead I seen what I thought maybe was like eagles or something. First thought is, oh, buzzards buzzing around, right? Like turkey vultures, but that's your first instinct right away when you see a bunch of birds. You're like, but as it got closer, I'm like, oh, they're bigger. They got to be eagles or something, right? As I got closer, I was like, something ain't right. So one broke off out of the pack of 5 or whatever they're called, herds, or I don't know, flocks. So let's just say. So one came down and like out of my sight, kind of like out in the trees, out past the river. But it doubled back and came across the highway, and it spread its wings so big and closed them at one point that I heard it from inside the truck, whoosh, and it then like came across the road and it blocked out all 4 lanes because it blocked my vision from seeing where I was driving. And so I'm like, what do? You look around kind of, and I noticed I could not now see any of the 4 lanes because of this thing's wingspan. Nor could I see. I looked both ways out the creek, before it came by. I couldn't even see that because of it. So it was that big to the point where it blocked out my vision on everything. And it forced me to look at it. And it had like this, like, dark gray, brown, leathery, like, leathery skin. It seemed like some points, like maybe at some, it's like a passing like kind of memory, like, but I remember maybe sun shining through parts of it, like it was clear, like opaque maybe in some spots, but it mostly was just solid mass and like not like see through it all. And anyway, so yeah, it just kind of did that again, and then I guess as it passed back over, it went out its way, and I had to gain my my bearings again to drive, and then I got off my exit, and I lost track of it after that. But it yeah, it was really, I'm kind of giving you the fast version, but it was pretty crazy. And yeah, it was massive, really, really massive. Neil, the Phoenix is more of like some kind of re-resurrection of something, I believe, like a I'd have to go. I'm a big fan of the Phoenix, but I'd have to go back and really like look into exactly what it means because I don't want to butcher it. That's all, huh? Just that today. Albatross, yeah. Roger, hello. Oh, a lot of love for Susie. So, Susie, would you like to share with us? Oh, she froze.
That sounds a lot like what I saw.
Oh, there she. All right, go ahead. I thought you were frozen. My bad.
Are we here?
We got you now. You're good.
What's
I
happening?
think you're a little bit laggy, but you're all right. Alan, what's up, buddy?
I thought it was my connection.
No. You're lagging a wee bit, Susie B. She just came. She literally just came in and then hopped on. So it quite possibly could be like a transitional period. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, I didn't do that. All right, she's gonna try again probably. That's one of the trippiest. Oh wait, well that's trippy. I'm reading like two comments at once. If I see one of those, I'll start shrieking like a loon. I can hear you, but it's stalling. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. She'll give it. He said, "We bit." Elena, you're rubbing off on him. You know, one of the things she says is, like, you know, we
I don't know,
say,
you're rubbing off on him. You
you know
don't
how
say
we
we
say,
often.
you know how we say you're gonna hang up the phone. Like they say, like, "Oh, I'll put it down," and I'm like, it doesn't make no sense, but it really does now. It's because when's the last time you had a phone that you actually hung up? Now you just put them down. All right, let's try this again.
I don't know what happened.
All right.
Okay.
No, gonna do it again. All right, let's just try and let you rock.
That's exactly a lot like the way you described what I saw. Do you want me to tell that? Share that?
Yeah, please, if you'd like to.
So me and my brother were walking. About 10 years old, he was 11, and in the corner of our block was a huge empty lot that was like a meadow, and it had soft grass growing and flowers and a bunch of wild plants growing there, lots of different things. So we used to play in that area a lot because it was really nice, close to the house, like 4 or 5 houses down from our house. And we were coming home because the sun was setting, and this is when usually we would come home before the street lights come on, right?
Mm.
So we were leaving the meadow area of that empty lot, and we were just turning to get on the sidewalk to head home. And right across the street from us, it was a convenience store. It's called Double D store. And in the sunset above that is like the sky was orange and yellow, and we both looked up at the sky because we just like both looked up, and this huge I can't even say bird. It didn't have wings, and it was very apparent in the sky. I mean, it was right there, and this thing was gargantuan. It was really really big. The wingspan, and what scared us, I think, both at the same time was when we saw it in flight, and when the wings were doing this, we heard the whoosh, whoosh, like really stronger than that, deeper. The power of the wings of this thing. It's like my heart's palpitating right now. But when we saw it, we didn't even look at each other. We just kind of both saw, and In those little seconds of us screaming, I saw the claws on this thing, and I saw that they were big enough to wrap around both of us, one in each foot with claws.
Right.
So, and that was even more terrifying to me, just to see that, because I knew this thing was headed our direction. It was coming from the west, so the sun was setting. It was coming towards us, and it looked brown, leathery like bat, but lighter. It
Yeah.
wasn't black like a bat. It was lighter brown, like a broomstick wood, or like the trunk of a palm tree. That kind of brown.
Mhm.
It was like that, no feathers, and I don't remember seeing a tail on it or the big long beak face. I zoomed in on the feet because I thought, oh my God, this in those
Gonna
seconds,
carry
this
you
thing is
off.
going to grab us,
Yeah.
and it was flying straight towards
I
us.
felt like it could carry my truck away. Like that's what I felt like.
We were little at the time, so
Mhm.
everything looks bigger, right? But this thing was so big. It was half the size of the length of the store, and that store took a whole corner of the block. This thing was big.
Yeah.
So, and then I never wanted to really talk about it till I heard Jason McLean talking about it, calling it a pterosaur, and then Javier from Cryptid 559 talking about it. Then I thought, oh my gosh, maybe I should tell my experience, because Javier, he actually lives not too far away from where I grew up, and it was right in that area. And so I did reach
Right.
out to him and tell him about it.
Right. That guy. The Cryptid 559. You mean, right? Because he's by
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
yeah. He's not too far away from where I grew up.
Well, Neil, what you said here, bro. Thank you for sharing, Susie. What you said
Sure.
here about the leathery skin could it be a dragon or a dinosaur? Um. Yeah. I think they are dinosaurs more so. Um. That's my opinion, though. You know what I mean? And why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Really? A lot of the things I see out there too, like I started questioning, like everything's like a Bigfoot nest, right? Or things like that. And I started seeing things out in places, and I'm like, why is it? I'm like, is that not? I'm like, what if that's like for a giant egg, or like, you know what I mean? Like I started looking at stuff differently after I seen that thing. I just started looking around for like you know that, and I was literally like, it just really had me like it had my world turned upside down for a little while. Needless to say, so many other weird things were happening that it kind of got compartmentalized amongst the rest. And but it yeah, I can't imagine as being a kid like at that age and seeing one, and especially near a store too, where like it's not supposed to be, right? Well, I mean, where the hell are they supposed to be? I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, California is kind of where like a lot of it, a lot of it's kind of talked about, I guess, or actually researched and stuff like that. Um, Definitely, I don't see why they couldn't be all over California and nobody would notice.
I mean, when I was even younger than 10, I remember being in the backyard and hearing giant footsteps and actually feeling the ground shake, but I didn't see anything and nobody else heard it. So there's something definitely on that land, I think, maybe in another timeline
Hmm.
or something happening in a loop, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never talked about this stuff because I always thought that maybe.
Oh,
I hope we don't lose her.
mm.
She was
Oh,
on a roll.
that maybe I always thought maybe I was just kind of crazy, I guess. Different. I mean, you don't think you're crazy when you're a kid, but you just don't talk about that stuff.
Sure. I mean, who are you supposed to talk to? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of there's only so far you can go with this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Even as adults, like, and even in today's world, there's only so far you can go with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of why I get upset when I see people like pull up maps and stuff of like sightings of things, and I'm like, oh, look at all these sightings over here of Bigfoot, or like, there's so many more over there, and I'm like, what? Like, I mean, I know damn well I don't report mine to anybody. I tried once, and it was like I got blown off because of where I was, and then they came back to me when they started to see all the shit I was doing. They were like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 nope, shut it down. Shut your mouth before you embarrass yourself. And but it was just like, to me, like, there's so much stuff going on out there, but like, it's all scattered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all scattered.
Like all the way to Florida to New York to, I mean, it's all over the states,
Sure.
Canada,
Yeah.
Alaska.
Yeah. Well, these things are supposedly all over North America, and that's why I started really paying attention to, like, all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but I started paying attention to the natives and what I can't think of what the name for it is. I keep saying like badges or like whatever, but like they're almost like their logos. I can't think of what it's called.
The tribal stuff, like the Tlingit Indian out there in Alaska.
Yeah.
They're very tribal. Their art is very tribal.
Mm-hmm.
Because I almost ended up over there. I was on my way to Haines when I was younger and adventurous and.
Well, you have native descent, and you're right, aren't you? Aztec.
Yeah, Aztec. Yeah, my grandmother was Aztec. She was real short though and dark. But yeah, my mom's side is more European.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Aztec isn't even recognized, right?
No, and what's crazy is this place where I was kayaking, here in Arizona. It's a bunch of rocks, and they look like old statue heads. Like the Aztecs had, the dog or
Sure.
the
Yeah.
lizard head. Some of them resemble these really old. They look like old ancient statues. There's even a rock that looks like it has fallen over, and it's on. You can see the back. It looks like a torso and a part of like the backside. And there's a huge rock laying next to it that looks like it could have been the head, which is so crazy.
Well, some of them are actual like giants that are like petrified, or you know what I mean, like
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't think
like,
of
and
that.
then other times it could be an old Aztec temple or uh pyramid or whatever that's just been buried, because I've seen that firsthand. And
Right.
I was just talking about this the other day. I was standing in front of this mountain, and I knew it was a pyramid at one point, and I was like upset about it, and I got this inkling like um to like go up it or whatever. And so I climbed. It didn't have trails. It took me a lot to do it. And when I got to the top, I was like kind of, it was like awesome, but I was still kind of like upset about the fact that there was no pyramid. And I got this inkling to like create, so you be the top of it. And like I remember, a lot of times I get to the top of a mountain, like sit on the ledge or whatever, like overlook. But like I was like standing up there doing this, you know what I mean? Like I was like standing up there as tall as I could and like making myself the top of the pyramid. And like, I wish I took pictures of myself at the time, but who knows what was around me. But yeah, like it's there's so much history that's right there in front of us, and it's just like it's just literally or figuratively been buried,
Mm-hmm.
But that's really cool. You should check that out, actually, if you can get better, like go and hone in on that area, and then maybe even send it to Mud Fossil University. There's a guy named Roger, and like he breaks down like scientifically, kind of like how he does the science that or biology and stuff that people don't want, to be out there, and talks about how everything is like a living thing, and like red clay is blood, and this and that, and this is just a giant fish, and that's a giant dragon, yada yada yada, so on and so forth. I can't really put into words, but I've always been trying to like talk about this to everyone, and he has ways of making certain things make sense.
Mhm.
You know. But anyway, yeah, it's a good. It's some of the stuff he does is really like it connects some dots. I think there's another guy too. It's called Tyson, but Tyson something. Anyway, I'll show it to you later though if you want.
I'm just worried about people finding the area and vandalizing and stealing, and it feels like a sacred place.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah, I hate people that do that.
Hmm.
Seems like there's different things reported. One is a dinosaur pterodactyl. The other is more of a bird, like a giant condor or rep. Absolutely, 100%, bro, 100%. I
There's
think
been
that's where a
sightings.
lot of things get lumped into like one category, and like I don't think we can really do that. Just put things in a box, you know. There's probably both. There's probably giant birds, and giant dinosaurs flocking and mocking.
Well, they've been spotted in Africa, certain parts of Africa where they've seen like dinosaurs on two legs running around.
Well, after that experience, we're taught in school that these things are extinct, right?
Mm.
But after that day, we walked to school every day. I would actually literally stare at the sky more after that and was in fear.
Mhm.
Always, kind of hunched over, walking through the high grass and then running in the bald spots, on the way to school, and always hiding behind something tall. That's how it was for me, anyways, after that sighting. Just
I
Mhm.
know
worried.
what you're saying there.
Yeah, it's traumatic. I mean, to an
Yeah.
extent, because it's like it's just like it's people who see a UFO or people who see whatever, like or Bigfoot, right? Like you see a UFO, you're gonna look in the sky a hell of a lot more than you did before.
Yeah.
You see a Bigfoot, you're gonna look in that tree line everywhere you drive, right? Like you can look around you when you're driving in the car. Look around you. There's a bunch of people on their phone, 10 and 2, staring straight, never turns their neck. That ain't me. I'm like ding, 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 ding. You know what I mean? I'm back and forth on both sides of the road, like he's in there somewhere. Like I just want, like
It doesn't really ever end because ever since my encounter, I was always looking up, thinking, is it going to happen again? But yeah, that's it.
It's rushing through. Paradox, what's up, buddy? Anthony, good to see you, bro. Raymond,
Hey.
everybody loves Raymond.
I used to watch that. Wasn't he your neighbor?
I never said it to him because I'm sure he's gotten it 100 times, but yes, yeah, it's all connection. Yes, absolutely, bro. I believe so too because I didn't see shit anywhere. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I was, but I wasn't noticing it. It wasn't registering. Um, I don't know. It's sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not, right? Like sometimes you bump into some shit and it just doesn't want you around, and like you kind of wish you were ignorant to it. But I'll never kind of like change the way I am in my approach because of something like that, like there's for every like one little bad thing there's like 500 good, and like I let that
Yeah.
outweigh. I always let that outweigh.
Hmm.
I'm over here now. OCST. And then a Mobian monster too. What's up,
Oh,
guys?
hey.
Welcome to the jungle.
That's so funny when you guys say that. I'm over here now. I'm over here now. I can't even do it right.
I was over there, and now I'm over here.
Oh, he with it.
I always hear it in your accent. It's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really hear it, but yeah, I think I cover it up. Like in my mind, I'm covering it up. Like I don't have an accent. Like I'm like, oh, I did pretty good. I did pretty good that day. But I guess not. What are you gonna do? So, friends with monsters. I did it right there, didn't I? All right, you got me. Friends of Monsters, I would have to say, yeah, in my opinion, like Dogman, you came in and just said it's all connected, and like people aren't open to like seeing these things, and a lot of that is very true. The first step is like pixie dust, right? Like you gotta like believe that it's gonna, you can hand somebody the key to a door, but they got to put it in there. That key is nothing if they, you know what I mean? Except for in that lock, that key is worthless everywhere else. So like they could walk around the whole world without and never put it in that door because they don't want to walk through it. And that's fine. That's on them. It's the same reason you have some people who see a Sasquatch and then never see it again. They search their whole life. They go for answers. They hate everybody who says they see them all the time because it's bullshit, because they only see them once, right? Like, but they're stuck. And that's got to probably be the most maddening position in the world. So I kind of have a little bit of like sympathy for them, but at the same time, there's so many people out there like, here's the key, here's the key, here's the key, and they just swat it away. So, but to come back to what you're saying, I do think that too. Yeah, I do. I don't think it's because necessarily you saw another cryptid, but I think it's like if you just kind of get in tune with it all, you're in tune with it all, and it's just like this whole, not to quote Aladdin, but this whole new world, comes out, and like it's just literally like it's unlocking a whole new space. Let me catch up with you guys. Son of a bitch. What's up, Rob? Son of a bitch. Oh, Forest Friend said earlier spirit animal. I know what you were saying that to now, but what I was thinking about was like every tribe has like a badge or a logo or an emblem or whatever. What are you guys looking at that I didn't see?
No,
No, it's just a little thing.
playing wavesies with Elena.
Oh, the wavesies. I got you. Yeah. It's good because like I'm so damn lazy. I just like do this. I'm like,
It's just
yeah. Red Creek, what's up, buddy? I hope you made it home okay. He was out there with his old lady doing big things. It was good to see you smiling like that. Everybody deserves to smile that way, bro. I'm happy for you. Giggles. Red Creek Mafia. Go check them out if you haven't yet, guys. He's all right. He's a friend of ours. What the hell is so funny? I don't care. Enjoy yourself. Oh yeah. Do you believe? Oh yeah.
Pretty soon my
a little
face is
bit
gonna
of
hurt.
squatching too.
Put my face back.
I can't focus with two of you. Rob, I don't know, but it's contagious. Bro, that's cool, Mike. I'm glad you got a little squatching in there. I can't wait to come down there and see you guys, man. But guys, tonight's one of those nights, like drop your links, show some support for each other. It was definitely then, one of those nights to do it.
I apologize for laughing. I laugh always.
Oh no, it's good. It's all good. I like it.
I got yelled at for smiling so much one time.
Were you serious?
I was like, oh.
By who? It's gotta be. Who the hell would yell at you for that? Actually, don't tell me, because it's gonna change my opinion of them.
You're gonna start showing them.
What are you gonna do? All right.
Ain't gonna do.
Forget about it. Got poked by a laughing fairy. Yeah. Yo, Paradox Fossils. Let me. Actually, whatever. I don't want everybody like bouncing on your page. But to me, this guy looks like a Brad Pitt. I don't know if anybody else agrees, but I really think he looks like Brad Pitt because I swear to God, I like clicked on his account one day on Facebook and I'm like, holy shit. And I just started swiping. And I'm like, it was just like doppelganger status. And I was like, I don't know why I didn't say it, but I'm saying it now. Susie, just Susie though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I think Raymond's shooting his shot. I'm just kidding. Sorry. I'd smile bigger if somebody yelled at me for that. Yeah. Or just laugh uncontrollably for no reason.
Yeah.
It was confusing.
Yeah. It's a no smile zone. This is a no fun zone. That was like the army. We used to like I'd get in trouble all the time for laughing. And like it would like make me laugh harder because they would be so angry. Like they would come at you with such anger and like veins popping out of their head and neck and shit. And I'd be like, it would make me laugh even harder. So we used to call it a no smile zone. Oh, we're entering the no smile zone. I wanted
He's
a
not
short.
really getting on my nerves.
He looks like someone famous. Yeah, Brad Pitt. Jay Fritz says, I had my experience with one of those big things long ago. Oh, Bigfoot, yeah. It's you younger folks' time now. Just one precaution I'll give you. Be prepared. They're enormous. Jay, absolutely, brother. Thank you. I'd love to hear your story in more detail one day. They are totally, I can't speak for everything. I don't know how much they vary, but totally underestimated. They're like what people say, like as far as sizes go, like I do believe they're frequently underestimated. At least weight is always way off, I think. And it's hard to say. It's hard to get an estimate exactly, but they definitely weigh more than cars. Like small cars, they weigh more. I guarantee you they weigh more than small cars. Thank you, first friend. But does he have nice legs? I guess you're making fun of me because of the the stream the other day when that guy came out with his dog, and I was like, he's got nice calves. My girlfriend got to see her first Sasquatch yesterday. She was a big skeptic to that. That's amazing. That's a game changer, bro. It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm happy for you. Hey, Susie, you're in the New York vibe with the tribe. Okay, good job, friends of months. Thank you. Yep. Yeah, that's what I figured. I forgot about that till now. Uh-oh. Throwing the fish around. Some big bass. So that's plurals. That's multiple. Yeah, so guys, if you have any questions or any comments or anything, otherwise we'll probably wrap up soon. Yeah.
I mean, the most I see in England is a pigeon.
What?
The most we see in England are pigeons flying around.
No, that's not true. That's because it's London. That's why. I mean, that's
Even
like
in the country, I really don't see anything interesting. But then I'm never out there long enough.
right. That's what it is. You really gotta put your, it's a little. Once you put the intent out there and the effort into it, and like, that becomes your focus, and like that's, it.
But when you're walking around with groups of kids, you really can't because you're focusing on the kids that you've got with you. Like when I'm with my cousin and the kids, so I'd rather do it like throw the kids at home and go out on my own, and then I can. But yeah.
I would think that Elena would have gargoyles where she lives.
Mm-hmm.
You said London?
Yeah, I
London,
would
yeah.
think so too. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff right there, like right there. But it's just I see what they deal with over there, and it's just like everything is like nah, nah, nah. Like it's just, you know what I mean? It's tough. I live in one of those places too, where like I don't have a lot of big local following, like or people around here. Like it's very limited, you know. Like there's probably only out of the 20,000 people on this channel or whatever, there's probably only like 100 from the island, if that, because it's just like it's not a thing here, you know. And like just to go up to somebody and just start talking, it would just be like, what? You know what I mean? Like, but again, look how many people live here, and then when I go out in those woods, there's nobody around. There's nobody around. We
I
see one
love
person here, one person there. Where the hell are the thousands and thousands and thousands? I go into town, everybody's on top of each other, racing for the red light and beating each other to the door, and like, you know what I mean? That's where their focus is.
Yeah, that's how it is here. Busy.
What state are you in, Susie?
Arizona.
AZ. Silverleaf, straight out of Arizona.
Gargoyles. I will check that out.
Gargoyles are one of my favorite things ever. I got one right here.
I had a dream about one, so I never thought about them until this dream I had, and I was being attacked by one, and I was like, "How's that fair? That's not fair."
This is one of my favorite. This is like it's like a dogman type gargoyle. Like,
okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're made of stone basically, and a lot of them are like propped up on the top of buildings or churches and stuff like that. But we'll talk about it later. We'll go
That's
into
weird.
it.
I have one very similar to that one, but with the wings.
Yeah.
But you're being attacked by one in your dream?
Yes, it was attacking me. It was throwing fireballs at me. And I said in my mind, that's not fair. How am I supposed to fight this thing? And then when I looked down at my hands, they were stone with claws.
Wow.
And I had wings just like it. I was able to jump into the air, return the fireball, and I was able to defeat this thing. But I never thought about never thought about them till that dream. So I was like, maybe they're real. I don't know.
There's so many strange things out there. I wouldn't say they're not.
I can't talk from experience. You know what I mean? I wish I could, but because I really, I don't think they're just myth. But I can't speak from experience, so like I can only speculate.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, it's really cool though. Uh-oh, here comes more bass. Stevie B.
Hey, Stevie. Hey.
Caught two big uns and I caught a little one.
The Queen used to wave like that, so I'm just going to start doing that.
No, please don't. You got some street racers. Street racer. That's really interesting, Susan. I'm sorry we didn't touch on that, but do you think there was anything to that, like your dream or
the dream? I always used to have nightmares till I stopped running. After a while, I just got tired of running, so I just faced it.
Wow, that's interesting.
And then after doing that, I never had a bad dream anymore. After that, they were all wonderful and with lots of color and just really vivid.
Yeah, my buddy just said something, and it's something that I say all the time, but it was interesting to see somebody else write it. But he put down like whatever his profile thing. It was like, what if our dreams, basically, what if our dreams are real life and we're, right now we're dreaming or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's reversed, or like, but what if it is? What if there's more to it? What if we do have some control over it? What if there is some kind of really, deep threaded meaning. What if it is when we're dreaming, we're going to like some kind of alternate timeline or something, I just wonder. It's all these things that make me think now because of, when you start to unlock how much lies you've been fed your whole life from Jump Street. And it's not like that everywhere, but growing up in the United States, forget about it. Like you just,
Yeah.
I got a little, as soon as I said it, I heard it and it threw me off. Okay.
Even me, okay?
I had bad dreams. Hang on, we're gonna wrap this up professionally. I had dreams all my years growing up. I faced my demons and my bad dreams went away.
Yeah.
That's deep, but very, very. I like it. And then, like how you just said, Susie, how you stop running. Like, how'd you consciously do that? When you're in a dream state, like that's pretty crazy. That's pretty interesting to me.
Because it happens so many times, you're just tired of it.
Yeah, you kind of like just go to bed with that intent, like I'm not running tonight because it's coming. That dream's coming, so you kind of just prepare for it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you. That's where I was gonna go, and you just took it there on your own. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, really good stuff. All right, guys. So, yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap up here. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Susie, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I know you kind of walked in the door. You were out and doing stuff, and you walked in the door and just hopped on with us. And yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, I'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, Elena.
All right, you. I'll talk to you in a minute. If you want to wait back there, you can, or whatever. Yeah. Thank you for hanging out and waving at people and all that. Is that how you do it? Or do I have to cup it more?
I don't know. The Queen used to do this from the window with her little white hand.
I don't know. Yeah, I lost you after the Queen. You just
Wave.
it was like a different language. No, but do you have to like tilt your head?
Would you start talking in Greek?
All right. Well, thank you again. I'll talk to you in a little bit, okay?
Thank you. It was good to see everyone.
Two hands. All right, you guys can wait back there if you want. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you all for being here. We can't do a stream without you guys because then it's just us talking to ourselves. So, seriously, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna make sure. Good night. I want to make sure I kind of highlight everyone that's saying goodbye quick. Jiro, great show today. You guys did awesome. I had to bounce a little early, but oh shit, there's so many comments coming in. It's crazy. Susie, thank you again. Night, Stevie, be good. Raymond, Friends with Monsters, thank you all, guys. Appreciate you. I won't drag it out too long. Have a blessed night.